Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Everyday Finances with Jay. My name is Jay. Majority of us want to be parents in the near future or in the future, and if you're not already a parent. And there is this innate desire to want the best for our child. I got a glimpse of that because I have a dog and I want nothing but the best for it. And I'm concerned when it has diarrhea and so on. And this desire, for example, will carry on for your child wanting to pay for your child to go to college. I'm not saying that everyone should go to college, but it does provide more opportunities and more time for your child to mature. But I speak for myself that I was definitely not ready for the real world at the age of 18. And this desire to wanting to pay for your child to go to college would often put financial stress on our lives. And especially since tuition costs have been increasing every single year. You might say, my child can just take out some student loans. But if you didn't know already, student loans has ballooned into the second biggest debt category in the United States, right behind mortgage loans. And in 2019 alone, 45 million people, that is almost a sixth of the total population of the United States. So one out of six people collectively have $1.5 trillion of student debt. So in order to save up enough money for your child to go to college, we might have to cut back on the contribution to your retirement account, tap into emergency savings, or pick up another job. But none of that is ideal and not the wisest financial thing to do. So we might have thought about saving up enough money for the child to go to college when the child was growing up, but was too preoccupied with the moment, putting out fires here and there, and did not plan enough for something that might happen in the future, 10 to 18 years down the line. Do not lose hope. There is something you can do right now that it's not difficult to do and does not require a big one-time sum of money. And what I'm talking about is a 529 plan. And if you use it correctly, you're able to save enough money for the tuition cost and other expenses. What a 529 plan is, it's basically an account where the money that you invest into it grows tax-free, so you do not have to pay federal taxes on it annually. And when you withdraw the money for qualifying expenses such as higher education, you do not get taxed on that amount of money either. Let's say you have done that and your child does not use the entire sum of money that you have saved. For example, if your child gets a scholarship, the amount of money you saved in a 529 plan does not go away. You are able to transfer that amount to a sibling, a direct relative, or even yourself. You can go back to school, get a degree, anything you want. Let's talk about some numbers. According to College Board, the national average cost for tuition is $10,440 for in-state colleges for the calendar year of 2019 to 2020. And with that cost, a four-year degree will cost you about $41,760. But that is just tuition and fees alone, and it's not factored the cost of living. So if you factor the cost of living based on if you live at home with your parents or have roommates or live on campus, the average cost of tuition plus housing is anywhere between $60,000 to $80,000 for a four-year degree. So it depends on what your child does. With just the tuition alone or living on campus or anywhere else, you have to save up $40,000 to $80,000. And that is 4 years of college. And that does not account for if you have multiple children that are going to college back to back, for example, if they're only 2 to 3 years apart. And if you didn't consider that when the child is growing up and they're a junior or senior in college, maybe you have 3 to 4, 5 years to save up that amount of money. And saving that amount of money is very difficult in that short time frame. So you might have to put your retirement saving, a dream vacation, maybe potentially a boat that you wanted to buy, a motorcycle, anything on hold. And that's just not something I want you to experience. So What the solution to that is the 529 plan. Let's talk about how you can utilize that plan to save for your child to go to college. A 529 plan is an investment account that you invest money in, and the money that you put into it get invested in the stock market. But you might say, when you hear stock market, it might make you nervous because you don't trust people on Wall Street or you don't know what's happening to your money. What I recommend is investing majority of your money in a broad index fund. What an index fund is basically a collection of a lot of companies within a certain field that you want to invest in. Let's say if one company doesn't do too well, there's lots of other companies to balance out the negatives. And one of the index funds, the S&P 500, historical returns for the past 50, 60 years has grown about 8% average annually. You might say, Jay, how can you assume that? 8% might seem a lot, but let's just look at what happened last year. In 2019, the S&P 500 grew over 28%. That is 3 times higher than what we're assuming in our calculation's sake. So in 8% compared to what just happened, 28%, it's a safe assumption to make. And the NASDAQ, which is another index, grew over by 35%. So 8% is pretty safe to assume if we're investing for the long term, which saving up for college 10 to 18 years is a long term. So that assumption is pretty valid. The 8% also includes the recessions such as the dot-com bubble in 2000s and the 2008 housing bubble. Let's say, how much money do I need to invest in order to save enough in my 529 account for my child? So if you only invest $100 a month when the child is born, so investment period of 18 years, after 18 years when your child is about to go to college, you'll have over $44,000 in that account. That is enough to cover up the tuition. If your child lives at home or if your child gets a little bit of scholarship, that will cover the rest. And $100 a month will not change your day-to-day life that drastically. You can just cut back on your unlimited cell phone data, maybe downgrade an internet service, or going out to eat a few times less per month, and you'll have $100. And another way that I recommend is to do that as an automatic investment. So out of your paycheck every month, so you will learn to adjust your life according to just $100 less, and you will not even miss it. And you might not even know that it's been happening every month. So every year, you might just get a pleasant surprise when you check into the account balance of your 529 plan. What if you're able to save more than $100 a month for your child to go to college? Let's say you can save $150 or $200. With that little increase of $50 to $100, after 18 years, your account balance with an 8% growth rate will, with $150, will turn into $67,000. And with $200 a month, it's going to be almost $90,000, $89,880. So just utilizing this amazing federal tax-free way to save for college, if you invest $100 to $200 a month, when your child is ready to go to college, you don't have to stress so much on how to pay for it. And if you have multiple children, if the first child, the oldest, does not use the entire amount of the account, you can transfer the remaining balance to your second child, and so on. Or even for yourself to go back to college. So what I recommend, guys, is everyone who wants to be a parent one of these days, which is majority of us, to take advantage of this 529 plan that will grow federal tax-free and will be not taxed federally if you use it for your child to go to college. And comment below if you have any other questions about this or any other financial questions. And again, we do here is trying to break the complicated financial market into uncomplicated or a little bit less complicated terms. And thank you so much for your support. Please subscribe, like this video, and click on the notification bell. Have a nice day.